Hey, what's happening everyone? Mountain Knight here. Without further ado, here's my walkthrough commentary on the Japanese version of Haunted Castle. So the first thing I did was add 5 credits. And then I used those 5 credits to stack up 5 health bars, and that gives you 64 health points. Now, that's not really a cheat because that's something that you can actually do in the original arcade version. So you can stack up a certain number of credits and you can stack health points, so that's not really a cheat. But I only limited myself to 5 credits. If I died after that, then game over. So the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to encounter the first mini-boss in the game, which is this very interesting mini-boss. That's it, the wall, which comes apart in the storm and spits bricks at you. Now, I've seen some speedrunners and they like to stay as close to the wall as possible, but not me. I like to stay as far away from the wall as possible, and that's because my reflexes aren't that good. So the further away you are, the safer you are. Now, the whole point of this level for me was to collect as many heart points as possible, because hearts power your sub-weapon, and so we want to be collecting as many as possible, and that's the whole objective here. And this level is quite straightforward really. It's quite linear, as you can see. It's just left to right along this like forest graveyard kind of thing. And right here, right now, we're gonna get the first sub weapon of the game, which is the dynamite, which looks more like a bomb, but it's actually a dynamite, and it comes in quite handy for the boss that's coming up. Now, the boss takes a little while to wake up, so what you want to be doing is you want to be crouching in between the 93 and 94 doors, and you're going to wait for the boss to wake up. Now, I used to have a different technique for this boss. I used to jump to avoid the snakes that crawl along the floor and throw bombs at her, but now what I do is I just like crouch and throw bombs just like that, and before you know it, she'll go down, and as you can see, so dead. She's dead. So on to the next level, and the first thing you're going to do, you're going to encounter this ghost. So you're going to be crouching so the ghost avoids you. Too close and the ghost hits you, too far away and the ghost hits you. So you need to be crouching at a specific point. And now we're going to get the second sub weapon in the game, which is the boomerang, and it's actually well named because it actually comes back to you when you throw it. And not only do we need the boomerang, but we're going to get the Morning Star or the chain whip, which is the second most powerful weapon in the game. We've been using the leather whip in the first level, first stage, and then we're using the chain whip from now on until we get to level 3, where we get the sword. And here's a couple of fishermen, mermen, so if you want to go fishing, this is the place to be. Those rocks have very wonky hitboxes. Indeed, this game is full of wonky hitboxes, sorry, so if you get... I haven't found out a way to avoid them. There's a bat coming up now, which if it hits you, it can push you back into the water, which is very annoying. So yeah, don't do that. Basically. So we're just going to carry on, jumping across a couple more platforms until we get to the end. Look at that, that's a little speedrunning technique right there. Even though it wasn't intended, to be honest. And now we're going to get the next sub-weapon of the game, which is the timer, and this is the sub-weapon we're going to have for us the game. Crouch here, and the bats won't hit you. That's another little trick that I learned. So yeah, this weapon we're going to be using for... There's another little mini-boss there, which if you have when you get the timer sub-weapon, it's very easy. We're going to go and get encounter some mudmen now, so you're going to be jumping over them like I do there. And this is another speedrunning technique. To be honest, I'm not very familiar with speedrunning techniques. I tried a few in this playthrough, but I wasn't really successful. But there's one of them. There's a speedrunning technique right there. But you know, that bat always comes out like that, so it's very easy to do that kind of bouncing off it. This merman can hit you, so be careful when it jumps up at you. And very soon we're going to be encountering the next boss, stage 2 boss, which is a skeletal dragon, and we're going to be freezing it. Freeze its ass and then hit it. So there we go, froze it, and you can see the hitboxes because I'm not actually hitting it, but it's doing damage, and boom. Second boss down. And now we're gonna get into Castlevania properly, and this was a very hard level for me. Stage 3 is called the banqueting room, and it's a very hard level. You get all these like dwarfs coming at you, and they got these erratic patterns, and they jump about. Very difficult to deal with. So for me, the way I deal with them is to just, like, as soon as I see one appear on screen, and just stop and whip them. It takes a couple of hits with the with a chain whip, and actually even with the sword that we're going to get in a little bit, this takes a couple of hits to kill them. So be careful with this candelabra, which is annoying because you need to watch out for the dwarves and indeed the knights. The knights aren't too tricky really, as long as you're careful. We're gonna enter like another dimension now, like a warp zone or something filled with harpies. A speed running technique that I've seen here is, I don't know how people do it, but they leave the area as soon as they get in. I don't know how they do it. I haven't figured it out. These harpies have very wonky hitboxes as well, so don't get too close to them, because even if you think you're safe, you're not. So let's leave. And at this point in the level, yeah, some more. Don't get the cross. I didn't get that cross because I wanted to keep the timer set weapon as I use it until stage 5. Stage 5 I'll drop it and I'll actually get the cross. But thing is, the timer is going to work very well with the stage 3 and indeed stage 4 bosses. So yeah, keep it. Here there's a very cool rendition of the I think Bloody Tears soundtrack from Castlevania 2. There you go, that's a homage to Carmilla from that game. And these tableware can actually drop hearts if you whip them, and there's also a hidden torch sub weapon which I haven't picked up, but you totally can if you want to. These ghosts are very annoying, but this one in particular drops the sword, so we want to kill it. And now we have the most unique and powerful weapon in the game, because this I believe this is the only game. These eyes are annoying, so yeah, freeze them. So this is one of the most unique weapons in the game, as I was saying, because this is one of the only Castlevanias where a Belmont is using a sword rather than the whip. So kill these dwarves. I didn't pick up, again, I wanted to keep the timer set weapon with me as long as possible, so I waited until the boomerang disappeared, and now we're going to get to the boss, which is like a stained glass marionette, as you'll see here. Look at that. Another very unique boss for Castlevania. I don't think it might appear in other Castlevanias, but I haven't seen it. And this guy almost got me, but finally the stage finished before he could get me. Right, stage 4 next, and these are the caverns. So yeah, this is full of mummies and bats. Bats can be a bit annoying, so what I do is, as soon as I see one appear on screen, I stop and I whack it with the sword. Sometimes, because of timing and positioning, you can't. These mummies can be annoying because they'll sometimes throw bandages, and you know the patterns can be a little bit erratic, so you have to be careful. I don't know what I was hitting at there, but never mind. So this stage is like left, right. It goes like that for a while, and then until you get to the boss. You see that bandage hit me. The mummy hit me as well. All the time I'm trying to get as many hearts as possible just to power up the sub weapon, because the more the better, right? Yeah, this is another mummy, and we're gonna get up to a spawn point, a respawn point now. So if you die, then you start from that point, but it's a very annoying respawn point because you'll respawn right where the mummy's coffin is, and this is the respawn point. So if you die at any point after this, you'll respawn right on top of the coffin, which is very annoying. So now we're gonna go wait for these platforms to climb to the top. We're gonna jump one. There's 4 of them. Make sure they rise to the top before you jump on them, or you get stuck halfway through, and then you won't be able to continue. And then you'll go back to the respawn point, where the mummy will definitely deal damage because it comes out of the coffin as soon as you respawn. Yeah, that crow drops the dynamite. Again, we don't need it. We're gonna keep going with the timer. We're getting close. Got hit by the bone there. We're getting close to the boss now. which is a giant stone golem. It didn't go very well. This is the first fight in the game that didn't go very well for me. I tried using a couple of speed running techniques, but they didn't really work. So I need to, not that I'm going to speed run this game or anything like that, but I think it's just nice. It's just nice to have these techniques so you can get the game. There's a lot of boomerangs in this level. Actually, I've just realized, and we don't want any of them. The timer seems to be quite a rare commodity in this game. Now that I think about it, after playing this back. So I believe this is the last corridor kind of area before we get to the boss. So unfortunately, I missed those hearts, which would have been nice. I think this is jump to avoid the the bat. This is the platform that's going to take us to the boss. Well, there's another platform that's coming down now. That one's going to take us to the boss, and like I said, didn't go very well. I wasn't exactly sure, like, what the hit points were, where the hit points were, or the vulnerable points rather. You can jump over that mud that he slings at you, but it's quite tricky, the timing, and I didn't get it here. But I have seen a speedrunning technique where they freeze the mud sling, like this, and then they'll be able to damage the boss without actually hitting it. Again, I don't know how. I think I did it once by accident, but I've never been able to replicate it, so I'm not sure. If I ever have time and I go back to the game, because I want to play. I don't want to play this game for a while. I think I'm going to leave this game because I've pretty much done what I wanted to do, which is like finish it and not have not die. So there you see there I'm hitting its face and its arms, so that's what you have to hit it, but the hitbox is a bit wonky. And this is one of the only bosses as well that doesn't have a death animation. Yeah, it just stops. The level just stops, the fight just stops. So this is the hardest level in the game for me, and this is where I lost the most health, because as you can see, I've not been doing too badly with health so far, but the fact that I don't know this elevator sequence very well, and I don't know exactly where to position myself to not get hurt. I haven't really learned it, memorized it yet. Combined with the difficulty of the level itself, then I do lose quite a lot of health here, unfortunately. Crouch for this knight with a sword, easy pickings. Be careful with this. The patterns with these crows can be a little bit tricky sometimes. So you see that it got me, but do what I do here, and you shouldn't have any problems. If you can, kill the dwarf that's just moving up and down there. Kill it like that. Because otherwise, one less enemy to deal with when you're actually walking through this area. A few mummies here. There's some ghosts here as well, which are like flaming ghost heads or skulls or something. I don't know that they're called ghosts, I think, officially, and like that one. That's very annoying. That got me. And but I managed to freeze that one. That crow is not really poses much danger, so it's fine. We're gonna come across another ghost there, but I think it's gonna come back, and then I'm gonna kill it now. There you see. So it came back, and I already hit it once. So take 2 hits to kill. And now here is where I'm gonna get the cross weapon, and that's what I'm gonna use to kill the next boss. And the good thing about collecting sub weapons in this game is that when you collect a new one, then you get like 5 hearts for collecting the sub weapon. So no real finesse or technique in this boss fight. I just like, it's a war of attrition. I just like spam the cross and kill Frankenstein's monster very quickly. So, and that's what you need to do. And now we're on to the final level, which is basically another straight line like the first one, but this time it goes right to left instead of left to right. So I haven't quite memorized the patterns, the patterns in this. So I used to kill some of them to collect some hearts because I was running out of hearts. Sorry, and I wanted to have as many as possible for Dracula. But some I just used to just bounce off to give me more time, because you can see the bridge is crumbling, and if you don't hurry up, then you'll get caught and you'll fall and you'll die, and then you have to start the level all over again, because I don't believe this has a respawn point, this level, as far as I understand, but it might do. I don't know. So yeah, kill a few, bounce off a few just to get ahead of things, and this level, it does go on a little bit, in my opinion. like, but we shouldn't be too much left of this fight. Yeah, there's not much more to tell really. Dracula is, you'll see Dracula is a very easy kind of boss. In fact, I'm of the opinion that all the bosses in this game are fairly easy to deal with. Of course, providing you have the adequate sub-weapon. The good thing about Dracula is that he's vulnerable to... well, I've used the cross against him before, I've used the torch, and both are very, very good. Very, very easy to deal with. Both phases, actually. Yeah, you're going to see in a minute. But before we fight Dracula, we're going to fight another Harpy. Which, frankly, there's only one this time, so quite easy to deal with. There we go. Dracula appears, so what you're going to be doing, you're going to be spamming your sub-weapon as he comes down. I don't know if you can stun lock him and then kill him quicker. I'm not sure about that, but just keep spamming as he comes down. That's phase 1 done. Now he's got to come back as a giant floating head. And I only had two points left so in my sword, but I killed it anyway. So there you go, dead, easy. Thank you very much for watching the video, everyone. If you liked it, please consider commenting, subscribing, and all that good stuff. See you next one. Adios, amigos.